All right. Yo, welcome back everybody to another Top List Tuesday. A lot of times I get this question asked whether I still use my economic background because I did go to University of California, Davis, which is a pretty prestigious school for economics. And I usually tell people that I don't use my background in economics anymore because I just do freelance, I create videos, I make ads, and I do everything creative. But I was thinking about it, and I actually do use some of my economic background in pricing and knowing what my value is and in communicating that. At one point, I was not too sure what my value was, and whenever I priced my stuff and did it for people, being a nice guy that I am, I would do it for as little as possible because I was like, hey, I don't want to overcharge somebody, and also I wouldn't like to be said no to. Because if you give someone a super high price, you're most likely going to say no. But there is a fallacy in that thought process, because if somebody has a marketing budget of $800 and you're coming to them with a gig that's $200, even though your value, your quality of work is worth $800, they're going to feel like they're missing out on something just because you don't fill that whole $800. So basically what I figured out was that if somebody has a budget to do something, you should fit what their need is. And you don't have to go break your back and over deliver. Knowing me and a lot of other creatives I know, we tend to over deliver. At the same time, we tend to undercut ourselves because I feel like a lot of creatives are humble and whatnot. So undercutting ourselves and not wanting to get said no to is a thing that, is a struggle that I feel like a lot of creatives struggle with. So what you should do is deliver what they want at the price point they want. So a good way for me to work with people actually is I ask them what their budget is, so then I can figure out how much work I should do and then tell them what I'm going to do and then deliver from there. So what I'm going to be talking to you about today is how to know your value and what your worth is, because all of this comes down to economics and knowing what the whole system and infrastructure of the business world is. Because in a way, when you make creative services for someone, you're delivering some value to them that they're getting, and in return you're getting money. And economics is basically that, the exchange of value and money. So now you might be like, all right, Arnold, that makes a lot of sense, but I still don't know what to charge. And so to think about what you really have to charge, you got to see the market objectively and know what value you bring to the client or what services you provide. So for example, if you're a YouTuber with a ton of subscribers and followers, or if you're an Instagram star with a ton of followers, you provide a lot more than just creating media. So your package comes out to be the clout that you have as well as the video and media services that you provide. For example, if someone else is just a local photographer, they're only going to have the value of shooting photos and providing those photos for the client. Now at the same time, they could also be very, very good at making these photos. So then that brings up their value. You should think of it all as a package and kind of give yourself a value of how much you provide to people. Okay, so you may have seen this in your basic economics class, and it is a supply and demand model. And it's not going to be as hard as it looks. Basically, this is going to be the quantity, and this is going to be the price. So what we're looking at is the supply and the demand. Supply and demand. Alright, so my camera died, but basically this is all you have to know. So when your price is too low and there's a ton of people that want your stuff, you gotta up your price because you can't handle all that. And when your price is too high, you might want to lower your price so then you can get more clients and be able to do more things that you want to do. And finally, you get to this perfect price point, and that's where you want to go. So when you get to that perfect price point, you're gonna have the perfect amount of demand so that you can do everything that you want to do, and at the same time you have all the resources and energy to do everything. So this is P-Perf. Alright, and there you go. Alright everybody, that is it for this week's Top List Tuesday. I know this was a bit out there because it involved economics and graphs and talking about something that's other than being creative. Please come back next week for another Top List Tuesday where I unveil what I think would probably be helpful for you as a creative and anyone that you know out there. And anyone that you know out there doing something similar, whether it's, freelancing or providing a service, and I will see you then.
Vado a Zonzo dove il cielo è sempre blu, ho dei passeri che svolazzano sopra gli alberi e mi cinguettano di lassù, quanta poesia ho.